did like Little House on the Prairie, long skirts, prairie style shirt, hair up in a bun, kind of sandy blonde color. So she comes in the room and she walks right over to this into this table. Well, that's the machine that she kind of started talking to. Well, then he started talking about, yeah, there's this woman that stayed here that was actually a nurse, but then they called her the cook because the cook got sick and this woman, the nurse, started cooking too. So they called her the cook. Well, I saw her come in the room way before he ever mentioned her, and then she started talking through this machine, and he said, I think this is the cook we're talking to. So anyway, we're getting ready to leave the room, and everybody's filing out, and he says, well, he said, I think I'm going to leave the voice box on and recording on my laptop while we go to the other rooms.
John Warnell is a doctor, medical doctor, and a colonel in the Confederate Army. And the war was all around him, and out there, where the houses now, where all his houses around stuff, there's nothing but farmland. The farmland, 300,000 acres, and I mean not 300,000, but 300 or 1,000, or
sure.
Spread quite a ways. And you had Westport Landing. To get from Westport Landing to where this guy lived was hours. Now it takes you 10 minutes. But back then, and they had Independence, which was almost a day's ride sometimes to get from Independence in a wagon out here where the worn out houses.
He would treat all the travelers
right.
and soldiers from both sides.
And back then, during the Civil War, the doctors, he turned his house into a hospital. It was a farmhouse, it was a dairy farm. And he turned it into a hospital. And as a doctor, he treated soldiers from both sides. It didn't make any difference who they were.
Yeah.
And the Union doctors and the Confederate doctors were both doing that.
Right.
And so, but he was a colonel in the Confederate Army, and they, of course, continually interrogated him and pulled people out of the house and everything during the Civil War. But anyway, she's going to tell you a story about what happened next.
So we're leaving the room, and he leaves this voice box on, and we're the last two in the line, and he's before me.
So the spirit box is going boom, 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 one thing, doing another thing, doing another thing.
Right. So just as he gets in line with this spirit box, it said, officer, soldier. Is that what it said? Sarge.
It said officer,
Sarge.
I looked at Dad, and she goes, did that say what I think it did? And I went, sure did. Then we walked on through. I never thought anything about it.
Nobody in there knew he was in the
radio
Army
wave
or
signal
his rank,
detector.
Yeah.
which his rank is Command Sergeant Major. So nobody knew that. So I'm going through the line going, hey, did you guys hear that box talk? They're all like, no. My friend had the headphones on. I'm like, Travis, did you hear that say that? No. And I mean, it was loud and it was clear. And I'm like, how did nobody but us hear that? So we go on into the other room and we're investigating, and my son's standing beside me, and the guy investigating was talking, and he was using dowsing rods, I think, at that time, and he was talking about the dowsing rods and stuff, and he was saying, let's see if we can draw a spirit into the room. And about that time I said to my son, I said, there is one, and just come up behind me. And so he said, if there's a spirit in this room, show us where you are. And the dowsing rod pointed right towards us, and my son was like, yep, you were right, Mom. And so my kids both kind of have the same thing, but I think it scares them a little bit, so they kind of deny it somewhat. But at one point he had a different device on, and it said my son's name, and the guy goes, "Is there a dolphin here?" And my son was like, kind of thing. And so we get through this whole investigation and stuff. So the next day we wake up, we're staying at my friend's house, and he's going through listening to things on the recordings, and he about fell out of his chair. He says, "Oh my God!" He said, "It's on the video, on the recording," and he said, "I don't know how I didn't hear that. It's so loud." And he played it. I mean, it was loud and it was clear.
You hear it clear. It was like a real, scratchy voice. Officer, Sarge. And I personally, I don't really that's not enough to convince me of anything, but it was kind of interesting and weird.
Oh yeah.
And somehow the radio frequency detector,
picked up those words.
Yeah. So, who
Can
knows?
you drink your?
Yes. Yes.
But that was interesting. But see, I figured it this way: at the Warnell house, he was a Confederate officer, and he, had mostly Confederate soldiers. He had the other side there too. That probably pissed him off that a Union officer, non-commissioned officer, was in there.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, I would be, a Union non-commissioned officer, not for a Confederacy, because the Confederacy was gone, and I'm U.S. Army, right? But that would have pissed him off.
Oh, so at the Crescent during this thing, they do different things to keep you entertained during the day and stuff. So they had these 3 things you could do. One of them was a deprivation chamber, and so they put you in this room, and it's
Oh, so it blocks out everything.
black.
It's just dark.
And you have headphones on, and you look into a mirror for 5 minutes, and you tell them what your mind creates in this mirror, right? So my kids didn't want to go in by themselves, but they wanted to go in. So we each signed up with one of the kids, and so my son and I went in, which my daughter ended up kicking him out. So we're in there, and he says, "Mom, you could put on the headphones," and I said, "Okay." So I'm sitting in a chair facing the mirror, and he's in a chair right beside me. And I told him, I said, "Now, Dalton, I'm not gonna be able to hear you, so if you need something, tap me." Okay. So I'm sitting in this chair, and 3 or 4 minutes goes by, and I feel something around my ankle, and it's like how a cat circles around your ankle. And they have a ghost cat up there.
Morris.
So it circles around my ankle, and then it quits. And then the next thing, I feel paws on both legs, and on this leg, it's going, how they'll stiff.
Oh.
And so I didn't say anything, so I didn't want to freak my son out, so it quit. And I didn't say anything. About another minute went by, and my son taps me, and I said, "What?" And he goes, "I'm done, Mom, let's go." And I said, "Okay, are you all right, Doc?" "Oh yeah, I'm bored, let's go." So we ring the bell, because it's black in there. We ring the bell, and they come and get us, and we go down the hallway, and I said, "Dalton, when I was in there, I felt this or whatever," and I said, "Did you feel anything?" He said, "Yeah, that's why I left." And I said, "What happened?" He said, "Well, I was sitting there," and he said, "I felt something touch my hand," and he said, "It went all the way up my arm," and he said, "I was done."
That's all. I remember when Morris was living, and he would just lay on the floor in the lobby, and if he was in your way, you just had to step over him.
Yes.
He was not going to move.
He was the king.
He was the boss of the Crescent Hotel.
Yeah. Well, now they have Jasper and Casper,
Mm-hmm.
and they're quite a bit different. But Morris is buried out back there.
Yeah, and his picture's in the lobby too.
Right,
Got
yeah.
a little plaque.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Well,
was a
we
cool
had-
cat.
We had Todd and Rob.
Todd Robot.
Well, we were sitting out on the veranda, just taking a break, and here's this really effeminate gentleman,
Very feminine.
very feminine.